Hello, everybody, and welcome to Calling the Game, an opportunity for a freelance sports writer and some madman scientist to get together and talk about all things sporting good. I'm Chris Lynch.
I'm Thomas Villalone Jr.
And it's been a long summer. It's been a few months.
It has been a very, very long summer.
Any NBA fan can tell you that things have been entertaining this summer. Any Celtics fan will tell you that it has been weird this summer. Any Spurs fan will tell you we're just the Spurs.
Nothing's changed.
Nothing is new under the sun. But we're back. We've got our brand new second season, flashy stuff, some new things to talk about for the year. First off, new seasons. We'll be doing this format of podcast about an hour to an hour and a half, mostly once a week on Friday afternoons. I think we'll list that as
We'll work on the time and we'll get back to you. But for right now, consider this to be our slot.
Yeah.
Prime time, baby. We're now prime time.
Yeah.
We've gone from the 10 p.m. slot to the 1 p.m. slot.
And also, we're going to be working on what we're calling VOD stuff, basically actually scripted YouTube videos.
So the stuff that you normally see, it's like, hey, have you checked this out? Yeah, we're going to be doing that.
Oh, yeah. Not sure how long they'll be, probably 5 to 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Scripted.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Proper editing, proper voiceover stuff, about fun and interesting and unusual sports stories that most people either wouldn't have heard of or angles on traditionally known stories that are either not perceived, not known, or stuff that in general gets to talk about, I guess for lack of a better way of putting it, the stuff that people don't normally care about.
Well, more importantly, the stuff that falls through the cracks.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the Spirits of St. Louis?
Bob Costas got his start there, and it resulted in the greatest heist of money without ever playing a single game in the NBA.
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
You will find out more when that comes out. Give it about 2 weeks at the least.
Give it at least 2 weeks.
At least 2 weeks. Yeah, don't worry. These things take time, as we have.
And considering the place that we're in, that's what we've got.
You know, just join on and have some fun with it. We're also now all over the worldwide intertubes or interwebs or internet.
Yeah,
whatever.
Same thing all at one point.
Yeah, all of them. So on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, our pages have just gone live recently. And by recently, I mean in the last hour. Our username for all of them, Game Been Called. Yes, Game Have Been Called, all lowercase, GAMEBEENCALLED. No spaces between any of it. So find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. There, we've already been followed by the Gentleman's Podcast and Win-Free Spurs jerseys. We have grown to new heights within the past hour, folks. Yeah, we now are social media darlings. What a glorious time to be alive.
You know, Chris.
What?
I'm just gonna agree with that at this point.
What? That it is a great and glorious time to be alive.
Nothing to say. If you get that reference, you are older than the dirt we're standing on.
Let us move on and actually talk about things that have happened so far this year.
So it's been 3 months since we've had a podcast, roughly.
We alluded to this in, first off, congratulations are in order to the champions of a few different leagues. Notably, congratulations to the Pittsburgh Penguins, who won their fifth Stanley Cup in franchise history at 91, 92, 09, 16, and 17. Yep. Congratulations to the...
Look at this guy keeping track of all the stats.
His historical records. Congratulations to the Pittsburgh Penguins winning their 5th Stanley Cup. Nashville Predators. Just watch.
You're there.
Yeah.
You were there.
Yeah.
You fought, and I will give you that.
Just watch Urinating Trees video on the downfall of the Predators in the Cup Finals.
So is Pekka Rinne still a brick wall?
Is Pekka Rinne still too good right now? I'm sorry, guys, but that's why they lost, and also they did get completely hosiered by the refs on Colton Sisson's goal. I'll maintain that forever. But congratulations to the Penguins. They earned it.
Go watch the series. It's an exciting one. Totally worth every minute spent, including the minutes you're going to spend throwing stuff at the screen.
Oh, the whole postseason was a remarkable run. I mean, Nashville's beating of the Blackhawks was amazing in the first round when they should have been walked over, and they did the walking over of the Blackhawks. The second round against the Blues was which goalie's better.
Yeah.
And the third round was basically the Ducks are a dirty team, man. We're going to try and beat them. And they did. Great series, but the Ducks are a dirty team.
And meanwhile, on the Penguins side,
that first round, they completely beat up on Sergei Bobrovsky and the Blue Jackets. Well done, guys. Well done.
Good job. And then you have continued your successful lineage of making the Washington Capitals
your servants.
Your servants.
We are intentionally cleaning up our language, and you're welcome.
You're meaningless servant.
I am so sorry, Capitals fans.
13 series and 12 losses, something like that.
11 and 10.
Same order of
close.
Right
close.
there.
Oh yeah, the Penguins have lost one playoff series through all the years. That was in 1994, and they have completely owned the Capitals in every other time, including they had a 3-1 lead in this year's series and almost joined the Cleveland Indians, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the Golden State Warriors in the infamous ranks of blowing 3-1 leads.
Yep.
But they went on to a Game 7, and Marc-Andre Fleury shut out the Capitals.
Marc-Andre Fleury got young again.
Yeah, now he's in Vegas.
Cashing out
and making that sweet money though.
Hey, look, if you're gonna get a nice little, congratulations contract,
Vegas is fine.
Places you're gonna get it.
I'm sorry that the Vegas team is going to be terrible, but minor details.
Look at the NFL and tell me that when NHL starts again.
Shut up.
I rest my case.
And then the conference finals was a great series between Pittsburgh and Ottawa. And the fun about that series is the contrast in styles and the stars, because Crosby is one of the two best players in the league. I think Connor McDavid is the other one who was the other great one. But Erik Karlsson was basically a god this postseason.
He was always keeping the pressure on and off the puck,
and it
was great to watch him. And he could just move it too at will.
And what was amazing about him was he played that series with a broken foot. Like with a broken bone in his foot.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he was absolutely incredible. So it's just a shame that it went down to a double overtime Game 7 loss. I watched that and I thought, oh, Ottawa, oh, Senators, I am so sorry, guys.
What are you gonna do about it, man?
Hope that Erik Karlsson continues to carry this franchise in a way that is
meaningful,
almost impossible. Minor details.
Working on the details, man.
And also in the world of the National Basketball Association, congratulations are in order to the Golden State Warriors. You have completely dominated the NBA. Congratulations to the Snake. I mean Kevin Durant.
You have now achieved God tier status. You have broken the Konami code, and you are now basically just running away with everything.
Yeah.
I respect it.
But we're not fans.
Kawhi Leonard, Zaza Pachulia, you did your job, but Kawhi is your weakness. And I look forward to seeing what will happen again.
How about the rest of the Spurs team, though?
It's not that bad. It's not that bad. The bench got swapped a little bit. There were rumors for a while we were going to get Kyrie. I'm just like,
that would have been interesting.
That would be cool, but what does that like? Does that gut the rest of our team? Are we going to be like the Clippers?
Now my team is in that position of having Kyrie.
Well, you're the glass cannon now. Your starting 5 better come out swinging.
I like our starting 5, and also I love Jason Tatum. He reminds me of my favorite basketball player and favorite athlete of all time. Even according to this same athlete. The truth speaks nothing but the truth.
Really?
Oh yeah, Paul Pierce has said of Jason Tatum that he reminds him, when watching him play, Tatum reminds Pierce of him as a mature player, basically in year 5 to 6.
Mm-hmm.
Let that be stated again. A Hall of Famer regards Mr. Tatum as, he looks like me in year 5 to 7. The mature version of Pierce.
Props to him.
This is going to be fun.
Well, okay, so we got on the track. So we have Kyrie moving now to Boston.
I don't know what to think of the trade.
IT's now in Cleveland, and they don't know what to think of him either, I suspect.
Oh, yeah. They really don't. I mean, Kyrie was a great player. I mean, the unit in Cleveland that was built when LeBron went back and Love got traded is comedically talented.
Obscenely.
I mean, the unit of Love, LeBron, and Kyrie should be regarded as one of the great units in
Just so
history of
happens
the
that
league.
Golden State happens to have the other one.
Golden State is sort of a fluky team in that it lucked into having this great unit when and it really is a result of Curry is a late bloomer in a way because he got injured and didn't make big money early.
Very, very true.
One of their starting players is a second-round pick in Draymond Green. He didn't get big money early. Klay Thompson, 11th pick overall, which not bad, but not the top level. The NBA is a top-heavy conference in everything.
Well, I mean, kind of on that note, the Paul George trade.
That was fun.
They're front-loading. They're pushing everything they have. I think Oklahoma City's trying to stay in contention.
Yeah,
it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting because they have a 1-3 punch again.
And that team last year, which it's mostly the same team coming back this year.
Yeah,
and
minus Oladipo and
Sabonis. But those are two pieces that, you can deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing about OKC. It was mostly last year's team was mostly the 2016 team. I was coming back to try and
minus Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but every other piece aside from Durant was by and large the same units.
Yep,
it's the same core ultimately of Adams and Westbrook that should be leading. And Adams disappointed me in a great way last year. What happened to you, dude? Like, what happened? You didn't look like Steven Adams.
Hopefully, the offseason will rectify that.
Yeah, he had better come out swinging. The other trade that's quite remarkable at least in terms of the personnel and the setup was Chris Paul going to Houston. There were so many trades.
Well, let's say so. Let's just stick to the trades right now. Okay, so Chris Paul to Houston.
Yeah.
Howard to the Magic.
Yep. No. Howard to Charlotte.
Howard to Charlotte.
Don't really care about that one. He's not going to do much.
Well, you don't know. Charlotte. They might take lemons and make it into lemonade.
You know how much I love Kemba. Dwight Howard is not what he was.
Not Kemba.
Dwight Howard is not what he was in Orlando.
Fair.
If that Dwight Howard were going on to this Charlotte team now, I would be like, whoa, they might actually win something. Kemba might be free. But that's not going to happen
Let's
right
see,
now.
What else? I mean, those are the really, really big name trades.
Yeah, those are the game-changing trades ultimately.
So admittedly, I think both of us need to sit down and actually watch like a couple of preseason stuff before we actually get a feel of what's going on. Because team dynamics, especially when you're dealing with such a talent-heavy league like the NBA, you have to realize that changing one player of that magnitude could completely change the dynamics of your team.
Oh yeah, the Celtics have completely overvamped their team
with one trade.
Well, there's also that free agent signing as well. This gentleman that we got in the form of Gordon Hayward. So
that's a steal. That was a steal right there.
It worked out well. Brooklyn made some trades as well in the offseason.
They have to, I suspect.
Well, they did. I'm going through ESPN's draft. This Jimmy Butler guy went to Minnesota. Oh, yeah, Jimmy Butler is now on the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I missed that. I actually missed the Jimmy Butler.
How the hell did you do that?
Have you seen my office?
Oh, right. Minor details. You've been out of it for a while. Don't worry, we're back in full swing. So, right. So here's the trade. Jimmy Butler and the number 16 pick in the 2017 draft, in this year's draft, gets traded to Minnesota. And the Timberwolves selected Justin Patton with that pick, a center.
Mm-hmm.
The Bulls, in return, get guard Chris Dunn, the third pick from last year, who didn't play a lot and struggled under Thibodeau's system.
Yeah.
From Providence College and from New London, Connecticut. I watched this guy play. Good player. Struggled on the NBA level, but I think he'll get it together. Also, forward Zach LaVine. Yeah, they traded LaVine for Butler.
No.
And the 7th overall pick in this year's draft, with whom they took Lauri Markkanen. So yeah, Jimmy Butler is now
Timberwolf,
a member of the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is quite an interesting position to be in. Oh, and there's one other trade worth noting. Brooke Lopez He's
is
now no longer.
He's
a
now with the
Nets.
Nets. He's free.
But he plays for the Lakers.
Look,
I'm
it's a step up in the right direction. I don't normally get to say that about the Lakers, but it's a step up in the right direction.
Well, this generation of Lakers. This generation is just plain terrible, and we don't like them. And in any event, so the Nets in return got D'Angelo Russell and Timofey Mozgov, which means the Lakers are out from underneath Mozgov's awful contract. So,
well, they jettisoned it to the only team that'd be willing to take it on.
Oh, also, the Celtics made one other major trade. They sent Avery Bradley to the Pistons. I really didn't like that trade. I really didn't. Markieff Morris. I really didn't like that trade. Two reasons. One, Avery Bradley's a stud defensive player who can really shoot and can come off the elbow. And two,
you've lost your combo of Marcus and Bradley.
Yeah, Marcus Smart is still going to be a real player with us, so I'm not that concerned about it.
Yeah, but you've lost a 1-2 forward combination.
Oh yeah, the other big concern is Morris himself. I don't trust his personality, and also he's facing criminal charges, which could have him in prison.
Both of them are, if I'm not mistaken.
Not really a fan of that.
That's neither here nor there. We wait for the proceedings to occur, and then we throw peanuts.
I know. And then I asked my brother, who's in law school right now, what he thinks of it all. I'm just going to run over very briefly the details of the Chris Paul trade. Like this is what the Clippers got in return for Chris Paul.
Okay.
So the Rockets gave up Patrick Beverly, Lou Williams, Sam Decker, Montrezl Harrell,
wow,
Kyle Wither, DeAndre Liggins, Darren Hillard, and the 2018 first round pick that they had with though it is top 3 protected and cash considerations. Only that for Chris Paul.
Well, if you're going to jettison something, you may as well do it right. That's wow. They got everything and the kitchen sink.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of impressive, actually.
So the Clippers will still be a good team to watch this year. Beverly and Lou Williams will be a lot of fun to watch.
Will be passable as point guards. They won't have the star power and mobility of Chris Paul, but
they're trying to build around Blake Griffin, basically.
Have they locked him down to a contract?
I think they did, yeah. Oh, okay. Also, the Utah Jazz traded Ricky Rubio for Ricky Rubio. So yeah, Rubio is now no longer a Timberwolf.
Hence why Jimmy Butler got pushed up there, I suspect.
Well, also, they made that move in an attempt to try and keep Gordon Hayward, because Hayward said that he would like to play with Ricky Rubio.
Well, you got Rubio now, Jazz. Time to make the most of what you got.
It should be a fine setup. So those are just a few of the trades that...
we covered the really big ones.
Yeah. Jamal Crawford is now no longer on the Clippers.
He's with...
Jay Crossover got traded along with Diamond Stone. Yes, that is a man's actual name. His name is Diamond Stone. He got traded from the Clippers for Danilo Gallinari to the Atlanta Hawks. So now the Clippers got Gallinari as well. Clippers did a lot of movement in the offseason. They needed to.
They needed to. They've had a lot of money on their hands that they're tied up with, and
yeah,
it's time. I think it's time to move on because that team was falling apart.
Yeah. So those are the trades that happened in the NBA offseason. It was quite an entertaining offseason, more fun than the nonsense that the finals gave us.
We might actually
have a fun year.
We might actually have not just a fun year, but a VOD once the dust is fully settled as to what these teams look like.
We might. That could be some fun. Let's see what we could do with that.
Now we're coming with ideas. This is dangerous.
I like it. All right, so let's get to talking about that sport that's going on right now.
Baseball!
Hooray! It's coming down to the final wire, and well, I don't know what to expect out of the postseason right now.
Any expectations early on in the season have mostly been proven false.
Yeah, well, brief look around the standings as they are right now. The LA Dodgers are going to win the National League West. That's
surprise.
I know. 97 wins. They had a stretch where they had a stretch in the middle of the summer in June and July when they were unfreaking stoppable.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of incredible the way that they went about it, and the
Well,
way
their
that
pitching and their batting was just unstoppable for a while.
oh my god, it wasn't fair.
They just went through everything. Every conceivable combination that was put up against them just got mowed straight down.
Oh yeah. I mean, Justin Turner and Cody Bellinger have been the real players leading the way, and it has been a marvelous feat to watch for this team. So, but the Dodgers cooled off mightily and had a stretch where they lost like 9 or 10 games in a row.
Yeah, they're 5-5 in their last 10.
Yeah, so they could have at one point set the record for the most wins in the history of Major League Baseball. That's not going to happen now, but they will win over 100 games. They're at 97 right now.
Yeah, they should hit that target pretty easily.
Goodness, yeah. The Cubs will squeak out the NL Central after drunkenly stumbling out of the blocks.
That hangover, that World Series hangover was hard.
It was. I mean, it was. I understand it, and it was deserved. Way to go, Cubs, for finally breaking your curse. But it's nice to see you actually be competitive again. And well, the Nationals have the rest of the NL East is flaming pile of garbage.
It's the Nationals.
Also,
I think it's Strasburg's last year on contract.
Yeah, Strasburg's last year, and Bryce Harper's got 2 years left on this deal.
So you better
win.
You better win now.
There's only one concern about them. Where's the bullpen? It's kind of terrible. They signed K-Rod to a deal. This is not 2009 anymore, guys. This is everything else is great. The bullpen is not good, and they're still winning the division by 20 games. Mostly because the second place team is the Miami Marlins,
who as we know are the leading example of franchise stability.
I mean, hey, at least they finally have a halfway competent ownership group.
Finally.
Yeah. Mr. Jordan, Mr. Jeter, don't mess it up.
Thank you.
Thank you for saving us from the horrors of Jeffrey Loria. Just a shame that you had to give him over $1 billion.
The only man to ever win a World Series and say, you know what? This team needs an entire new roster overhaul.
He managed to destroy baseball in 2 cities.
Congratulations, man.
We don't like
you. You have succeeded in ways that we never thought possible.
Succeeded and been horrible. A horrible failure.
In the American League.
The Houston Astros.
The dumpster fire of the American League West.
It's not that bad, except for Houston. Houston's great. Everything else is pretty terrible.
Which is a great turnaround from last season.
The NL Central, well, Cleveland is...
Cleveland still being Cleveland.
My God, 22 games in a row at one point, which...
Do not... You right now are the antithesis of the Browns. I know you don't have the stadium as full as you'd like, but keep doing it. Be the gem that Cleveland needs. Not the one that it wants.
This temporary PSA has been brought to you by the Save Cleveland from Its Own Self Foundation.
Co-sponsored by the Factory of Sadness.
Oh, Cleveland. You just constantly fail. Don't mess this up. Don't mess this up.
You have a chance for a World Series again.
Don't mess it up. Don't. Be the Royals of 2015 after 14's face plants.
You've got a good bullpen. You've got decent pitching and hitting.
You have God himself named Andrew Miller, and you have a Hall of Fame manager in Terry Francona.
Yes.
Don't mess it up.
You've got the pieces. Just do your job.
Use my friend Terry Francona and go win something. Don't mess it up.
Speaking of Terry Francona,
my old team,
the ghosts of Terry Francona past. Boston is in the lead in the AL. In the AL East.
I don't know what to make of this Red Sox team, to be honest.
It's a mixed bag of nuts.
This is a really confusing team because they are in last place deep down in the league for home runs. They've not hit a lot for power.
But they've still got contact hitting. They still have pitching.
Contact hitting and speed, but the weird thing is it's a National League team. They win a lot of extra inning games. They've played 14 extra inning games. And of those, I think 5 or 6 of them have gone to 14 plus innings. This team has played the most baseball.
If that's the case, though, you've got a team that can play small ball. You've got a formula. Just push it as hard as you can.
And that formula can win in the postseason. You absolutely can win that way in the playoffs. In fact, and I still maintain Chris Sale hit a stretch lately where he was only human, but you see what he did in Baltimore the other night? Chris Sale is...
He's scratching it up again.
Oh, he is... The thing I love most about him, after having watched him for a while, he never shakes off a pitcher, off a catcher. In fact, he said
he sticks with them.
He's never, in his whole career, he's never shaken off the catcher. He sticks with it because he thinks that his stuff is good enough to get you out whenever granted, Sandy Leon and Christian Vasquez, I trust them to call a game pretty well. So, but the rest of the staff, Pomeranz has been a pleasant surprise. What in the ever-loving hell happened to Rick Porcello? He's going to lose 20 games this year. And he was the Cy Young winner last year.
Rick Porcello, if I'm not mistaken, if I go back in his history, just off the top of my head, he's actually a 500 pitcher. He has really great seasons and then really bad seasons.
His talent has belied his record. And granted, he has not had a lot of run support. In fact, there were stretches where he was nothing short of left out to dry by the Red Sox offense that just constantly botched things up and left him hanging.
So real quick, in 2015 he was 9-15.
Yeah,
with an ERA of 4.92.
Granted, Detroit didn't help him that much offensively in that year. So.
Detroit, he was a 500 pitcher by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Good season, bad season. Good season, bad season. Good season, good season, bad season, bad season.
And last year he won the Cy Young. Good job, dude.
R.A. Dickey won it. Remember that?
I try to forget about that. Remember, that was a pity award for the Mets.
It wasn't even that.
He was actually quite good.
He was actually pretty good.
Oh, he was. He had a great season with the knuckleball, but I just jokingly refer to it as a pity award for the Mets because they're not winning anything else anytime soon.
Except the Bobby Bonilla Award. Inside joke. Okay, FYI, disclaimer. We love this guy on YouTube named Urinating Tree. Guy's brilliant, at least in terms of the way he looks at stuff. And,
go watch his stuff.
Bobby Bonilla Day, look it up.
It is hilarious.
It is contract robbery if I've ever seen it.
Well done, dude. You did not deserve any of that money, and yet you are getting all of it. In any event, so things to note about the way things are going right now for Major League Baseball. The Red Sox are I don't understand exactly what I expect out of them. I like their bullpen a little bit more, especially since Kimbrel has been great.
Yep.
Not quite Cleveland's bullpen,
but good
which
enough.
Is special, but very good. The playoff teams, the wild card teams in each league, we didn't mention these guys yet.
Wild card team, I think leader right now in the AL is the Yankees.
Yep, for the first spot.
For the first spot, the second spot is
I think
Tampa Bay.
The Minnesota Twins.
Really?
Yeah, they're 79 and 74. Tampa is 74 and 79. The second place team behind them would be the Rangers, and they're an even 500 ball club.
Well, them and the Angels.
Oh, right, yeah. I keep forgetting about that minor detail.
Rangers had a dumpster fire of a start, losing basically their entire pitching staff. The hitting was pretty good, but Darvish was out. Everyone else was out.
By the way,
what do you do?
By the way, congratulations to the certain Hall of Famer Adrian Beltre. 3,000 hits.
Yep.
Well done.
He had a hell of a season and still is having one.
I hope that he does not become the third base equivalent of Trevor Hoffman.
You like hitting sore spots, don't you?
I'm getting us back into mid-season form in the first episode. You're welcome, by the way. MLB, Baseball Hall of Fame, rather. Fix this.
You have problems. We will bring the torches and pitchforks.
We will organize it. We will make Black Lives Matter look like a pitiful show of protest. Think we're doubting? Maybe not that bad, but you know.
Ooh, man, you're stoking some flames, man. You're stoking some flames.
Trust me, we ought to treat our national institutions with some respect, and baseball ought to be shown that they cannot have this level of history.
They can't step on it.
I mean, they have constantly. I mean, Gil Hodges is still not in the Hall of Fame, which needs to be fixed today. MLB, get on this, please.
In any event, National League.
All right.
Wild card, just looking at this, Arizona, I think, has spot number 1.
Yes. Arizona has spot number 1, and Milwaukee and Colorado has the second spot.
Colorado it
Yeah.
is. Yep.
The NL West is stacked this year.
It's powerful, except for San Diego's beating San Francisco.
Oh, the Giants are having an especially garbage year. I mean, they cannot do anything right.
They jettisoned everything.
Well, they didn't trade away anything because they don't have anything worth trading away.
Everything's broken. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, Bumgarner got hurt in a dirt bike accident. Matt Cain hasn't done that much. Buster Posey is not Buster Posey right now. He just is a regular human being, and and the Padres, they're stacking Rule 5 picks. Like they've got 3 Rule 5 picks.
They're grabbing them onto the now like tickets at a counter line.
They're not even trying to hide.
It's a strategy. I'm just waiting for the commissioner to say, guys,
you can't do this.
You need to stop. This is a problem, like a hoarding problem.
They're gonna make like the Philadelphia 76ers and try to trust the process.
Trust the process.
Something.
Only problem is the process doesn't even know what the process is doing.
They don't know what anything is doing. In any event, so what are we looking for and watching for the end of the MLB season? Like, what teams should we be watching
performance?
For?
There's so little equality in some of these teams. I'd say keep an eye at the top and then watch the wild cards. Everything else, sorry guys, it's over.
Yeah.
Get over it.
The Yankees will be the most entertaining team to watch for just figuring out seeding because it's a young team. They're figuring out their pitching, and I know and love Aaron Judge. Everything else in the Yankees, I want them to fail. But I will at least watch them and see.
Burn hotter than the fires of hell itself.
I don't like the Yankees.
Or if you want the actual like literal equivalent, Australia.
Sure, yeah, whatever. In any event, so the outback of Australia, to be specific. In any event, so
where hospitality went to die.
Good day, mate. So
okay,
let's get to
now we get to the real fun.
Yeah,
the NFL.
Why is it so terrible now?
I blame Roger Goodell.
You blame Goodell for just being a terrible commissioner?
I blame Goodell for everything at this point.
Of course you do. I mean,
I don't even watch football and I get to blame Goodell, and people are just like, yeah, you're a smart one. It's like, sure, whatever.
Yeah, whatevs. I mean, it is the truth, though. I mean, you can blame Goodell for a lot of total nonsense, because there's just a lot of nonsense going on.
Well, I mean, the most apparent form of this is the Chargers and the Rams.
No one's going to their games.
Guys, you had 2 stable teams. Look at it now.
The Rams weren't good in St. Louis, at least not since Kurt Warner left. And Mike Martz and Marshall Faulk, and they ruined Steven Jackson's career, basically.
They literally ran him into the ground. Yeah,
it is a crying shame to see what they have done to the Rams. Also, now, did you see these uniforms that the Rams and 49ers wore last night?
No.
They throw them up on screen if we can somewhere, but I don't know if we have figured out how to do that yet. But oh my God, they are absolutely awful.
One moment.
Well, we'll get this on. Yeah.
Oh.
The
Los Angeles Pac-Man called. He wants his colors back.
It is truly terrible. It really is truly terrible. Just go Rams 49ers for the search bar. And yep, you can see in the Deadspin picture. It is, see that picture right there. Yep, the 49ers are in all black and the Rams are in all bright yellow, mustard yellow. Tomas, are you okay?
No.
Are you?
I'm actually not.
Here's the picture. You see the picture. And what is wrong with the picture? Everything. Everything is wrong with the picture.
I see bad play. I see players stacking on each other. I see the uniforms. Like, come on, guys.
It is truly terrible.
You don't have to be a FIFA soccer team.
Don't have to be. You shouldn't be.
Well, I say don't have to be because some of them actually look pretty good.
Okay, but I mean, first off, it's a different sport, and a lot of rules in football don't translate uniform wise. Don't translate over to other stuff. Like the Packers uniform is perfect. green and gold.
Well,
Perfect.
It's been that way since Newton Rockne was there.
No, Vince Lombardi designed those uniforms. The Green Bay Packer uniforms used to have a dark navy blue base and a gold dot on the middle of the jerseys that had the player number on it.
I now hand in my sports reference card.
So Vince Lombardi redesigned the uniforms
Wow.
and the colors of the Green Bay Packers when he got the job in 1959, and it has been that way ever since Vince Lombardi redesigned the uniforms.
All right,
and
then.
they are perfect. Never change this. Patriots. I mean,
minor change.
I actually prefer the Patriots uniforms with Pat the Patriot and the red and the white. I think those look nice. There are some throwback uniforms that are legitimately good. There are some alternate uniforms that look great. These 49er ones are
not so much.
The All Blacks are not good. Only the Ravens can pull this off.
And the All Blacks themselves.
Yeah. That's a special case though.
When you have a 70% winning record, come talk to me again.
Oh, you can do whatever you want in that instance. In any event, so it is kind of terrible. But I found, and I'm looking for this right now, I found a very interesting argument that a lot of the blame can be leveled at DeMaurice Smith, the representative for the NFL Players Association.
So I'm not as familiar with the NFLPA. I know that there's some political dealings in the background, but I can't say heads or tails.
Oh, there's a ton of stuff to go around. So there's an opinion piece on Sports Illustrated that I'll share and just point this out that they think this. And I think the argument is quite interesting and quite convincing. And DeMaurice Smith was re-elected to be the representative for the Players Association.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, his argument is that the new collective bargaining agreement that they made has resulted in inexperienced players taking the field. That has resulted in players are younger. Players are there's not a lot of veterans on the team. They go through them even faster now because the quality of play isn't as good. Because you can't practice, or not as well as you used to be able to, because
you can't practice as good as you used to be able to.
Yeah, like they changed the practice schedules and the requirements so that they reduced practice times as a result of the collective bargaining because they thought there were a lot of injuries taking place in practice. Turns out, no, you're not being prepared for an actual NFL game as well in a lot of ways. So I think in part, and also they changed the tackling methods so that you can't go high and hit the head anymore. You have to go low. That's why you're seeing a ton of knee and a ton of ankle injuries increase now.
That's actually quite practical, though, and the NFL would agree to that because concussions.
That I understand, and I remember hearing Joe Montana talk about. There's one big change he would make.
He would remove the face mask.
Yeah, he'd remove the face mask.
Troy Aikman even said that.
Yeah, I would join on with that.
A lot of older players, okay, so I'm a rugby fan.
Mm-hmm.
Tried and true. I played it. You have nothing on you. The most you're legally allowed is to have 10 millimeters of EVA foam on your body.
And that's it.
So when you tackle, you make sure that your tackle is not only secure, but also safe for both players.
Yeah.
Now, if you're used to the trucking hits from the NFL, well, I will tell you as a basic physicist that the brain don't do so good when you hit someone as hard as you physically possibly can.
Yeah.
Repetitively, no less.
Anyone who got hit by Brian Dawkins or Ray Lewis can tell you that.
Look at Jerome Bettis. He was offensive, and he still looks like he got hit.
Bettis,
his body's wrecked. Wrecked good.
I mean, not quite Jim Otto levels of destroyed. Do you know who Jim Otto is?
No, I'm familiar with the name. Yeah.
It was an offensive lineman, wore number 00, played for the Raiders. One of the all-time great Raiders. He had to have his leg amputated.
I believe it.
Many years after playing. I mean, he
just tissue damage, probably.
He had 15 knee surgeries before he finally had his leg beneath the knee amputated.
Yep.
So it's a brutal sport.
And again, we can talk the merits of this some other time because it gets really, really in depth. But I don't see the NFL existing as it does now in 10 years.
Yeah, I
don't see it at all.
Do you think it falls in popularity or starts going into the red financially? Think
it's not going to go into the red. It's too lucrative. But the thing is, it will not have the same mainstay power because like people are refusing to let their kids play it now.
Mhm.
So you're losing like the low level core.
Funny thing about the whole concussion thing. What's number 2 in terms of total youth sports giving concussions?
Soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3rd is hockey.
Yeah. So I could do a whole video on this because I actually was friends with like a leading neuroscientist, and on the rugby field, it's like, hey, Jason, is it smart for you to play a sport? He looks at me and goes, well, it's safer than most other sports. Well, how do you say? Well, soccer is actually quite dangerous. And I have a pretty good friend of mine. Poor guy played soccer at MIT and concussions over the years that he physically can't play the sport anymore. His brain like just hits the ball and it's all over.
Yeah.
And the reason why he got his last concussion was they gave him a rugby scrum cap to put over because it was just enough padding to like lessen the blow. And the one time he practiced without it, he got his 5th concussion.
Jeez.
And
you can't play it anymore.
You can't play around with that stuff, folks.
Yeah, you really can't. So we'll get to work on that.
We've got a nice list in the works, and we're going to tackle some harder stuff that people don't like talking about. And you know what? We don't care.
We like to have fun with our content. And apparently our level of fun is talking about the pain and suffering that we go through in these voluntary acts of entertainment. What's wrong with us?
Your local tomato farmers will appreciate your patronage if you buy a couple of dozen crates to throw at us.
Oh, yeah. And your onion.
Support your local tomato farmers, folks. Or peanut farmers as well.
Or whatever. Or Georgia's economy is going to go through a major boom. All right.
We'd like to give you the key to the state of Georgia because you have single-handedly revitalized our economy.
You're welcome, Atlanta. This is the you're welcome, by the way, from a Patriots fan.
Moving on with our lives, the NFL is still a mess.
I'm sorry, NFL. I used to like you, but now you're absolutely terrible.
With the exception of the Patriots, who knows what's going to happen?
Well, the Patriots and the
Patriots and the Browns.
Everyone knows that the Patriots will be very good. The Browns are going to be
the Browns.
They will find ways to mess all of it up. All right, so
very, very briefly, I love this right here.
Oh no. They
are playing the only team that could conceivably be worse than them right now.
Because their starting quarterback is
well, neither team in my opinion is a true starting quarterback.
Well, by default, the Browns are starting a rookie because
they always start a rookie.
Oh,
until that rookie gets broken, and then they have to put in the veteran, and then the veteran gets broken, so they put in another rookie. You see the trend here.
Cleveland just can't do anything right.
Well, apparently they can Indianapolis.
Andrew Luck has held that organization together, and now he's not on the field. I'm sorry, guys. You are going to...
The spread, for the first time ever in the past year, favors the Browns. And it's a tight match.
Do we want to actually unironically watch this game just to see how terrible it can get?
No, I can't watch it unironically. The irony needs to be in there.
Oh, I know. Do we want to watch it just to see how terrible it can get?
Yes.
Yes. What time is this? This is a 1 o'clock kickoff time.
1 o'clock on CBS. CBS, prepare to have your ratings plummet faster than Donald Trump's approval ratings.
I mean, Trump's has been hovering around 40% some odd recently. It's actually been hovering lately. Just to throw that out there.
Prepare to tank harder than Zimbabwe's inflation rate. There you go.
That's
your political reference of the day, folks.
Of course, welcome to the new season, guys. This is what we talk about.
And we'll finish off with a little bit of boxing.
I'm going to let you handle this one because
I watched the fight.
Canelo versus Triple G. I could only watch the highlights.
I watched it with 2 other friends, and that could have been match of the year easily. It was very evenly matched, back and forth. There were moments when you could tell that both of them were going for the knockout blow. Like Canelo had an uppercut that he was throwing, and if that thing landed, it would have ripped G's head off. G was throwing a hook that if it landed on Canelo, would have ripped his head off his shoulders. It was brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very tactical, very, very good. A little bit slow at the beginning, It's what you'd expect when you have two titans. You know, you want to test the waters, and the scoring. Yes, there was the judge who was blatantly. It's like you won 10 rounds. No, let's be real here. But at the end of the day, the fight was good. It was evenly matched. G applying pressure, Canelo counterpunching. Then, ironically enough, at one point it went backwards for about 2 rounds because G got gassed and Canelo decided to pounce.
But it was a worthwhile thing to watch all the way through and you thought it should have been a draw.
Yes, it was so like I told my friend before the match, a draw is unlikely, but possible. And I've been as happy to be right in a boxing match like that because now there's going to be a second one.
Oh, that's
and my suspicion is there's going to be a third as well. This is going to be a 3-year-long trilogy. My hope is that Alvarez steps up to the plate and fights back immediately because age is on his side. Okay. Gennady is 35.
Oh, I see.
Not 35.
Somewhere
he's in his early 30s. He's in his early 30s. Yeah, no, he is 35. Yeah, he is 35.
Okay.
But they finally found their foil, and it's a good thing.
Boxing needs people like this.
I mean, besides this, we've got Anthony Joshua fighting early next year. Deontay Wilder's starting to warm up again. The middleweights, Andre Ward called it quits. He finally held up to his promise. I've got to sit down for a while and see how it changes things. But right now, the middleweights have the spotlight. Floyd versus McGregor, the bookies had that fight from the beginning. There was no 2 cents about that. It was a money grab. And you know what? They got paid well.
Good for them.
But
God bless them. God bless America that we have a place where we can make all this kind of money. Where a black guy and an Irish guy can beat each other up and make hundreds of millions of dollars.
30 minutes for 300 million? Yeah. I think I'd be willing to, like, I'd want to prepare for at least 3 months beforehand, but that's a pretty good payday.
Not bad. Well done, guys. Well done.
But in all of this, the middleweights have the spotlight again. It's time to use it. You've got a healthy division. I wish there were more higher level competition because once you get to the top tiers, you know who the competitors are. The heavyweights right now have that. The heavyweights right now have that tiering, but they don't have the star power, if you will. Like Anthony Joshua, he's good. He's not a stateside fighter, so unless you're British, you kind of don't care about him. Deontay Wilder, you know, got the nickname of the Brown Bomber, or Bronze or Brown Bomber, one of the two. Similar to Joe Louis.
Something like that, yeah.
Good fighter, power puncher. But again, we need to see these higher level tiers fights occur. And because of the way the boxing regulations stipulate all their matches for belts and stuff, you don't get it anymore. Kind of frustrating, but what you going to do about it?
Mild details, I suppose.
But Gennady and Canelo.
Well done, guys.
Well done. Get that second fight. I'm pretty sure y'all both had rematch clauses in your contract, so it's time to use them, make some more cash, and just give a show that you did this past time. Right? It was amazing.
Yeah. Deontay Wilder, by the way, is nicknamed as the Bronze Bomber
because he won the bronze game in the 2004 Olympics, I think.
Yeah. Joe Louis is the 2008 Olympics.
2008 Olympics, yeah.
As an amateur.
Was the Brown Bomber.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
We're
good
back.
to be back. It's good to be back.
We're doing stuff again. And we'll finally have we'll actually be a YouTube channel now.
Yes.
It's nice to be official. So follow us on all social media feeds.
Twitter, Instagram,
The Book
Facebook.
of Face. Game Been Called is our handle for everything.
Throw in your comments. Let us know what you think.
Please do.
Can we officially say like, subscribe, and all that jazz now?
Well, I guess we can. I guess we aren't official.
If you think we're worth it, like, subscribe. If not, throw tomatoes in our direction and make some farmers happy.
You know where the buttons are for all of that. And I hope you know where your farmers are so that you can pepper us.
Double that.
Yeah.
All right. I'm Thomas Villalone Jr.
I'm Chris Lynch. Have a great day, everybody.
It's good to be back, folks. Y'all take care.